Player transfer window for the 2024 season open. Teams have been busy beefing up their sides for the remaining 16 league games. And leaders FC Platinum have added more firepower in their midfield as they've acquired the services of Divine Mindirira and Polyester Shoko from Highlanders and Talwan respectively. Melvin Mukiwa and Nedrick Made are some of the players that have joined the students' rentals. Highlanders have robbed in attacking duo of Neva Rauji from the Chiefs and Ngobile and Ndlovu, who was in Botswana. Manika Diamonds have acquired the services of Evans Katema and Anal Kachevandire, with Garikaide Matsika and Chelsea Nyakope heading to Beketa Minerals as part of that deal. So a lot of deals going on right now, you know, in the local premiership. But you've got to feel like, yes, mid-season, you want to bolster, but you want somebody to start with the team, go through pre-season, and just be part of the team.
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of players, Mr. Tish. We have joined in the mid-season and went on, you know, to hit the headlines that much. And if you look at it, even wherever now, mostly they are not signing players in January unless they are desperate for that player.
No, but here's my thinking. I'm looking at these transfers. You look at maybe Polyester Shoko and Divine Mandira for FC Platinum. That looks like something that they're thinking ahead to next season. That doesn't look like something that's immediate and maybe
it's immediate.
No, maybe more aligned. But you look at, for me, I think the most shrewd signing of this transfer window is Neva Rauji to Highlanders. Remember what happened to Highlanders last season? They got to the halfway point. They tried to get Obreo Shirinda because they knew that the goal scoring could be the difference for them in terms of clicking and giving them that edge in the second half of the season. Because everything else, especially from a defensive and midfield point, was working. But they didn't quite have that X factor. With the form that Neva Rauji has had, 6 goals playing for Bulawayo Chiefs, I think you can even equate it to what we were just discussing with Kamal Billiard's impact at a team like Yada. So I think that's shrewd. You look at the Gem Boys, Manika Diamonds as well. One of their biggest challenges, I think, of the teams in the top 5, I think they've got the worst goal return. So that's been a challenge. I think you look at the draws that they've had, most of them have been goalless draws. So I think it's also, I'm not saying it's going to work, but I think it's also the coaches realizing where their weak points are. And we've always criticized a lot of the coaches in the league in saying that they don't want to lose. So for me, when I see Kelvin Kayendu bringing in a Neva Rauji or Jairo Sapera bringing in Evans Katema or someone as versatile as Anelka Chirawandre, it says, you know what, we understand that maybe we're not, they understand where the weaknesses are, and it's an attempt to add on to what they're already doing. Whether it works or not, like what David is saying, that mid-season transfers don't always work, but if it does, especially for me, Neva Rauji to Highlanders, I know they're 9 points behind FC Platinum right now, but when you think about the atmosphere that's there at Baba Fields, you think about the philosophy that Kelvin Kayendu has been able to infuse there, and then you think about the exciting young players, Melekaya Nwe, Makinen Mshore, Lino Chukua. Yes, you know, it's sort of like fallen back a bit, but 7 goals. Brighton Nwe, 5 goals. So if that gives them options, because when Brighton's not kicking in, you have got a Neva or vice versa. But when Lino Chukua stopped scoring, it almost seemed like Highlanders were stuttering. Remember, they lost 2-0 to Yada, and we're thinking, okay, what's going on? So options, whether it works or not, it could be different. But I think, for me, those two, Evans Katema, Neva Rauji, to those two teams, because they are at the top as well, trying to challenge.
Because it's only last year where we had Machope, we had Lord Chunga, who at least excelled. Those two, for me, they excelled because, remember, they just came in.
Guess what? I didn't even have to oppose it. I'm saying he's crashing his own point.
No. Do you know why? Because time on Machope, he was just coming in from first division. Lord Angaka Gara.
No, but
and it asked but then when you come in, Howard, one was Kutamba kune any other team. It's because of tactics. And it's because my tactics normally are not change out team, which end up team with different coaches, different tactics. Those are ones that it might not work.
Yeah, but for me,
but it might not work.
I'm actually skeptical about Evans Katema to Manika Diamonds. Was the goal return, yes, 7. But if you look at how Evans Katema, especially Ed Pikita, he was playing, I think he had more of a free role. I think a lot of the goals that he was creating, he sort of had to bring out the magic by himself. You look at the way Manika Diamonds were playing. I think what's his name?
Tawana
Machek. There were attempts to get him the ball, but it wasn't really quite working. So Jairo Sapero has got a job on his hands, because it's one thing looking at the stats and saying he had 7 goals, but is he going to be able to fit in and play with a Michael Tapera, with all the other guys in that Manika Diamonds forward line?
But my worry now, Howard, especially in the mid-season, if you look at most clubs, when they release players, why not release some players angasingatambi? And it to bring in munhu wadatambi. Sakana munhu asina kutamba, like Garika Idematsika for me. I remember when he was playing at Rhinos, when Saul was using him, he was using him as a centre forward or even as a right wide midfielder, playing with Lot, playing with Evans, the 3 of them. And they combined well. That's why I was open about Lot. He came in second half of the season, he did well because anga kagara. And it saka pa unouya uchiswotanga usikopinda pai mu system. It's easier for munhu anga kagara than munhu anga achibva kwanga achimbokochwa kuti ndoti utambe so. Pa unozoenda uku. And it wakunonzwa futi chi zvimwe, which means you have to adjust game by game. But training alone is not enough. That's why that pre-season, for me, it's quite important because pane pasina games in between. So whatever you always a coach, you want Howard to instill in your players. And it works.
It's your premier football show, The Couch, Wednesday at 9 p.m. Konapo, Ipapo, pa ZTM Prime, DSV channel 294, the place to be.